And yes, age is an issue. I'm a grown man running against a 6-year-old. But look, age is the only thing we have in common. My vice president actually endorses me. Donald has had a few tough days lately. You might call it stormy weather.
This is the type of energy that Gen Z likes to see from President Biden. He went full dark Brandon mode, and I have more clips of him roasting Donald Trump, roasting Lauren Boebert, roasting the entire MAGA movement, while also poking fun at himself, which is the best part about President Biden. He has charisma, he has wit, but he's not afraid to poke fun at his own age every once in a while, or to laugh when other people poke fun at him. Donald Trump has such a big ego and so little self-awareness that he could never laugh at a joke making fun of him. And this proves that even further, because I went on Truth Social this morning, so you guys don't have to see what Donald Trump said about this speech last night, and I had to scroll through like 30 or 40 different tweets or truths to find out what Donald Trump thought, and he was enraged. He said, the White House Correspondents Dinner was really bad. Collin Jost bombed, and Crooked Joe was an absolute disaster. Doesn't get much worse than this. If you needed any more proof that Donald Trump is completely detached from reality, then this is it. If the claims of widespread, massive voter fraud wasn't proof enough, or if the claims that all of the courts and all of the institutions are against him for committing crimes wasn't proof enough, or if his constant insistence of talking himself up every single chance he gets, or his constant scamming and grifting wasn't proof enough, then this should be the final proof, because Collin Jost did a great job. On top of that, President Biden did an amazing job. I want to play some more clips for you guys. This is one of President Biden roasting Lauren Boebert regarding her theater situation a while back. Play this clip.
Look, being here is a reminder that folks think what's going on in Congress is political theater. That's not true. If Congress were theater, they'd have thrown out Lauren Boebert a long time ago.
I'm going to play a few seconds of Donald Trump rambling on about Gettysburg, then I'm going to play Joe Biden roasting Donald Trump for rambling about Gettysburg. Play the clips.
Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was, the Battle of Gettysburg. What an unbelievable, I mean, it was so much and so interesting and so vicious and horrible and so beautiful in so many different ways.
I really feel great. I'm campaigning all over the country. Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina. I've always done well in the original 13 colonies. And speaking of history, did you hear what Donald just said about the major Civil War battle? Quote, Gettysburg, wow. Trump's speech was so embarrassing, the statue of Robert E. Lee surrendered again.
Some great jabs from President Biden there, and notice how he didn't have to stoop to elementary level humor where he's coming up with nicknames for other people. He just had these straightforward, humorous jabs and was able to poke fun at himself. Now, before I play some clips of Collin Jost, who's commonly known from SNL, I want to read this Trump tweet one more time. He said, the White House Correspondents Dinner was really bad. Collin Jost bombed, and Crooked Joe was an absolute disaster. The reason he said that Collin Jost bombed is because it was actually quite the opposite. Collin Jost did a great job and ripped Donald Trump apart, but Donald Trump's fragile little ego can't take it, so he had to go on Truth Social and immediately start throwing out tweets or truths. I don't even know what to call them, but even within this Truth Social post, you can see the difference in class between Donald Trump and President Biden. Donald Trump already called them Crooked Joe. He said Collin Jost bombed. Biden never talks like that. He makes calculated jabs that are always pretty witty. Let's play some clips of Collin Jost. This one is him poking fun at Donald Trump's latest trial.
Can we just acknowledge how refreshing it is to see a president of the United States at an event that doesn't begin with a bailiff saying all rise? And I would like to point out, it's after 10 p.m. Sleepy Joe is still awake. while Donald Trump has spent the past week falling asleep in court every morning. Though Fox News said he was just being anti-woke.
Now, this next clip I'm about to play is one of the most brutal roasts of the entire night. It's racked up millions of views across social media, and I think the reason why Donald Trump wanted to poison the well with his audience by priming them and saying that Collin Jost bombed is because he doesn't want the MAGA fan base to seek out these clips and realize how much of an absolute man-baby Donald Trump is. Play this clip.
There is an election. There's an election 6 extremely long months from now. So let me see if I can summarize where this race stands at this moment. The Republican candidate for president owes $500 million in fines for bank fraud and is currently spending his days farting himself awake during a porn star hush money trial, and the race is tied? The race is tied. Nothing makes sense anymore. The candidate, who is a famous New York City playboy, took abortion rights away, and the guy who's trying to give you your abortion rights back is an 80-year-old Catholic. How does that make sense?
I mean, within his jokes, Collin Jost actually raises some great points there. Something that I've been trying to get through to my generation, people who think that both sides are effectively the same, is that Donald Trump is the one that appointed these Supreme Court justices that led directly to Roe v. Wade being overturned. I talked to a Gen Zer a few weeks back who said, didn't abortion get banned under Biden's watch? Which comes from a complete misunderstanding of how the current system works. The Supreme Court banned it. The Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, I should say, and this was a direct result of Donald Trump appointing conservative Supreme Court justices. So if we can get out there and we can spread the word, then we only increase President Biden's chances of winning this November. Watch this clip of Matt Gaetz catching a stray punch from Collin Jost, metaphorically of course, but this is also one of my favorite jokes of the entire night.
We are all here tonight at Nerd Prom. Well, Matt Gaetz is at regular prom, but I actually thought I saw Matt Gaetz here tonight, but it was actually just my own reflection in a spoon.
I love it. I was cracking up throughout the entire speech. It seemed like the audience was loving it. They were enjoying watching this live takedown of the MAGA movement by President Biden and by Collin Jost, who both did very well. Collin Jost had some great jabs, as always. He even took some jabs at President Biden that were playful, and President Biden laughed at himself, because that's what grown men do. President Biden's humor is, again, one of my favorite parts about him, and I would love to interview someone like President Biden or a Barack Obama this election cycle, and President Biden's humor has only been shining through more and more as his campaign ramps up. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is stuck in this courtroom, always looking pissed off, always looking like he's in a bad mood with bloodshot eyes. He can't take a single joke. He takes himself way too seriously, and that's the difference between these two men. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment a blue heart if you made it this far, subscribe, but most importantly, have a great Sunday, everyone.